Having that community engagement from the outset is really important around just consulting with people around and asking them the question around, so what do you like about living here? What makes Inglewood special? What's missing and what could be done differently? If you could do something overnight, what would you do? What would you change? If there was a project that you could do over a really long period of time, what would that look like? And by getting people to think about some of these questions in a more, I guess, from a higher level perspective, you can start to then unpack what their values are in that sense. Because asking someone directly, what is your vision for Inglewood? Or what are your values? People will just be like, what are you even talking about? But if you ask some broader questions around, so how long have you been living here? Why do you like living here? Tell me when you catch up with friends on the strip, like what do you like about it? What don't you like about it? People will start to automatically start to tell you their values from the outset. And they can start to then think about 10 years down the track what Inglewood might look like. And then from there, you've got a really rich profile of what the community is telling you, and you can then start to craft a vision, either with them, or in our case, we did it separately to that, but then we went back and tested it, with people we talked to, and is this roughly what are we on the right track with that? And that can then, so now we have this action plan and it has 10 key areas that we're focused on. And so when people come to us and say, I'd really like to do that, it's like, oh, that sounds good. How can it fit in with what our values are? Because this is what we've heard the community wants us to focus on. And if it doesn't really fit with that, then sometimes we might be a little bit like, well, unfortunately, we're not probably the people to help you do that, but we can point you in the direction of someone else. That just keeps us roughly on the right track, and we're not being pulled in so many different directions. Project that we have around vision setting, and we're currently going through the growing pains of that at the moment, is to establish a community garden in Inglewood. And one of the main challenges with setting up a community garden in our part of the world is that there's just no land. So we're finding that we're getting to a point where we will find a site, but we will need to bring everyone together who's wants to get involved with that and run a really collaborative session around setting up why we're doing it, what our vision is for that community garden. How will people interact with it? Will it have an interface, with schools or community groups or the underprivileged, or will it just be more of a traditional community garden? And that will be really critical from the outset. I'm a very big advocate for doing the hard work up front around getting people together and understanding why they're getting involved in something and what their values are, as opposed to just your eyes on the what. We're just wanting to build that thing, and we've got, that's all we're focused on, but everyone will then be looking at that from a different perspective. So bringing them together at the start is really key.